What's up guys, Dev here, just redoing a video. So I had a 22-minute long video. I'm really sorry, and I'm really so upset at myself for having to even do this. I don't ever want to have to take a video down for something like this, but 22 minutes is just too long. I know I'm certainly not going to pay attention to something like that, so I'm trying to keep this as quick and brief as possible. So I'm really sorry I'm redoing this video. This is part 2 of the 22-minute long video, and this one's going to cover the topic of batteries. Just a little bit of information on them and expanding on them. But real quick, before I get started on this spiel, if you will, you may have noticed the new intro. A guy, I don't know if I should put his name out there, he knows who he is. A guy made me this intro, and I am just so, I love it. It's freaking awesome. It looks so cool. Pardon me for swearing. I'm very, very appreciative of that. So, sir, you know who you are. I really, really appreciate it. I can't say thank you enough. But let's go ahead and get started with the information, shall we? So, batteries. This is going to be more so for the new people, the new vapors, just getting into it. What to look for in batteries. If you went with my recommendations in my getting started video, which if you haven't seen, you probably should go watch that now, please. Highly recommend doing so. If you went with my recommendation of an Ego C Twist style battery, or maybe even a Vision Spinner battery, these style batteries specifically, let's talk about how you charge them. Okay, so they work pretty simply. You get this little USB cable charger. It's got a little post on the bottom here, right, with a little LED right there, and this is how you'll charge these style batteries. So literally all you do is screw this right in there. Very simple, right? Ta-da! That's it. Don't over tighten this. I like to let it get snug and then just give it like a quarter turn more. That's all. What you're looking for is this little button here will actually blink at you a few times when you've actually made a positive connection with the charger and the battery, that center pin or post that's in there. And as well, the LED will blink at you when you made that connection. So this is all you're trying to get touching in there, is that little center pin that's in there, just touching that post that's in here. That's all. So when those two make connection, you'll get the blinkies, and that's how you know you're charging. So while this thing is charging, it'll stay red. If it's dead, like turned off while in use, it'll blink 5 times at you and turn off like that. And you'll go to turn it back on, and it'll just blink at you. It won't actually turn on. It'll just blink like 5 or 6 times, something like that. Never turns back on. So it's time to recharge, obviously. So you plug this thing back in for charging and hook it in, or plug it into your charger, your wall charger, your computer. This little light, while it's charging, will go from red to green kind of over and over. So it'll stay red for a while, and maybe hour in, something like that, it'll change over to green for 10-15 seconds and then go right back to red. What is that? Why is that happening? So these chargers and these batteries, they kind of talk a little bit. This charger is going to ask this battery every so often if it's done charging, right? So I guess is the best way I can put that. It's looking to know if this battery is resting at its maximum theoretical voltage charge of 4.2 volts. Once it reaches that, it's done. It's time to stop charging the battery, right? That's when it shows the green light. So really what you're looking for is this green light to stay on for more than like a minute. If it's doing that, go ahead and take it off. Make sure you don't overcharge these. So don't do what I do with my cell phone and plug it in at night and fall asleep and let it charge for 8 hours. That's dumb. Don't do that. Do as I say, don't do as I do. Take these off immediately. Don't overcharge these. It can have some negative impact on just the battery life, and how many cycles or how many times you can charge this battery before it just will no longer successfully take a charge. So be mindful. If you're out somewhere and this thing dies and you don't have the time to recharge it, just don't recharge it. Some of these style batteries come with little USB pass-throughs, which are kind of a neat feature. You can plug it in from like the bottom here to plug it in and charge it and still use it to vape. So instead of having that top portion inaccessible, you charge from the bottom. Neat little feature. But on that topic, this battery is not an actual genuine battery. So how do I know that? Well, the first thing that alerted me to it was this here. There was no, oh, there's gunk and stuff on it. Ew. There was no branding on it. So this is what a Joyetech branded battery looks like. Joyetech, Joyetech. I'm really hoping you can see this. But sorry, I'm trying to get as many angles as I can there for you. There's a little bit of branding on the bottom there. This guy, there is none. There is just non-existent, right? And this little bottom piece also comes off. Okay, that's how you get to the USB portion, USB pass-through portion. You'll also notice there's a little bit of a difference in size, as well. The bottom portion here. This is the twist style battery. This one just comes off. It's a lot more fat. Also, speaking of branding, there's no, on this guy, this is the genuine battery. You'll notice there's nice uniform letters here. It says Ego C Twist. It's got no weird spacing or no weird bold and some letters not bold kind of lettering. It's all very uniform, right? The way it should look. This has no branding whatsoever. Doesn't even have a brand name on it. Or a product name. It's got nothing like that. But also, the big dead giveaway. This button on this knockoff, it glows blue. This button on the genuine article, it's like a smoky white color. Okay, that color is what you're looking for. That's what you should be seeing. If you're seeing blue, not Joyetech, to my knowledge, does not make a battery with a blue light. So just things to look out for. In general, the knockoff batteries, they're not bad, but don't start with them. I know they're a little bit cheaper. Like this battery cost me like 18 bucks. This one was like 30 bucks. Yes, it's a little bit cheaper. They do the same thing, but for starting out, get yourself the genuine article. Don't buy a knockoff. Get a knockoff battery after you've got some stuff that is already working well for you. And if you want to try and save yourself some money with a knockoff, no brand name battery, then move on to something like that. But for starting out, get this for sure. I find more people have issues with this button dying on them, the center pin being loose and wobbly, and the soldering on the bottom of it disconnects so the battery no longer charges. Just goofy amounts of problems. Like I say, some of them have cool little features on them. They're I don't want to say that they're all bad. Some people may really enjoy these batteries, and plus they are cheaper. But being less inexpensive does not always ensure the greatest quality, so don't forget that. Just wanted to give you at least an idea of some things to look for. Aside from that, let's talk about milliamp hours. MAH, people call it mAh. I guess it's just easier to say that way, but it's MAH, milliamp hour, M capital A-H. So what that means is essentially how many hours of life you're going to get out of a battery. So like this battery, this is a 2000 milliamp hour battery that's in this device. This is an Innokin SVD. Everybody refers to it as the lightsaber. I'm kind of seeing why more and more, but we'll talk about that one in another video. I at least wanted to tell you what this device was. But if I take the battery out of this, you'll notice it's got some markings on it. It'll tell you the voltage, the milliamp hour, and the brand and the chemical structure. That IMR is what that is. I'm really hoping you can see that. But it gives you some specs on the battery. Okay. So why are these important? So 2000 mAh, 2000 milliamp hour. What that translates to, in essence, the best and easiest way I can put this, divide it by 10. All right. I'm sorry. Don't divide it by 10. That's a completely wrong formula. Take whatever your milliamp hours are and just grab those first two numbers, or maybe even the first number. So this battery, this is 20 hours, hypothetically, of battery life. So just to kind of keep that example flowing, 900 milliamp hour would be 9 hours, hypothetically, of battery life. 2600 is 26 hours. 1000, 10 hours, right? You see the trend here. 1300, 1300, 13 hours. Pretty simple and easy to figure out, but it's gonna, if you're using a variable voltage device, a lot about what you're vaping with it is going to determine the actual longevity of the battery. how long it lasts you throughout your day. So higher, lower ohmed coils, depending on what voltage you're using, may potentially use more battery life. So just something to keep in mind. In general, depending on the form factor you're looking for, if you're looking for something little, I think they have ones that go all the way up to like 1300. Excuse me. But if you don't mind something kind of big and clunky, then you can get higher milliamp hour batteries. Cleaning these. Let's talk after I vape. Sorry. Oh, I think I turned it off. That might be helpful if it was actually on, huh? I'm vaping some wintergreen in the ProTank 2, which I am thoroughly impressed with, but we'll talk about that another time. Cleaning. These are pretty simple to clean. Basically, all you got to do, if I had a paper towel anywhere, whatever. The center pin here, if you ever notice there's juice in there, if you get like this gurgling noise, you probably have juice on the center pin that's in there. It's an unmistakable noise. It'll get juice in your mouth. You'll know what I'm talking about when it happens to you, and I'm almost assure you it will. Just take your atomizer off of here, or whatever, your clearomizer, whatever you got on here, and just stick a paper towel in there, or like a Q-tip, or whatever you got that's easily accessible, and make sure you keep juice off of this. Very, very simple. And as well, typically whatever you're using on the device, it has this little connection which will likely also have a little bit of juice on it. Just same thing, just make sure it's nice and clean, no juice on there, right? That's all you're looking for. Pretty simple with these guys. I mean, it's really nothing too advanced or complicated about them, you know what I mean? You stick your atomizer on there, or your Clearo, or whatever it is you're vaping with, and you press the button and you go. They've got 5-button press, so you can turn them off by clicking it 5 times, turn it on the same way. It'll blink at you. There you go. Pretty simple, straightforward. Other than that, yeah, just basic principles of a battery. To take care of them. They'll do you well. If I missed anything, anybody has any questions, please let me know. Send me a direct message or leave a comment below. I really appreciate you watching, and I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Have a good one.